All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol TLRY, Tilray Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And let's jump into this chart. So TLRY stock and Tilray Inc., which we're here and we're going to analyze in just a moment, has had a bullish run. It hit lows here after rising up from the lows that it hit way down here at 241 earlier in the year. It rose up and it started to fall, and one of the lowest points that it reached was down here at 440, and it has started to run. I mean, it almost multiplied by 2 and almost 3 times it, and then it started to fall pretty quickly. So Tilray has earnings coming up, and we need to pay very close attention to this one, because a lot of what's going on too is not just earnings, but also in the works of speculation and hope and excitement due to one political party or the other earning the presidential candidacy to go ahead and possibly have some type of impact on these products and these brands. So that's really what's going on here. There's a lot of speculation, hope, and outlook depending if the election swings to one side or the other. And I know that there's a lot of speculation going on with that as well. There's a whole back and forth. You know, we've announced today who was going to be the president. I'm recording this on Saturday. Just want you guys to make sure that, you know, you guys don't bash me that I said today. And today is going to be Sunday, because I'm going to post this tomorrow. I'm just going ahead and taking the time to do this. But back to the whole video. And today it's been announced, but there's still a speculation. There's still some people saying we need to do a recount and so forth. And, you know, there's all those different things. And then also the market overall was rising because of not just the presidential election, but the majority of the House, the majority of the Senate. You know, those outcomes already came to light, and that all has had an impact on the market. But I believe what's mostly making this drive, because this is not the only one in this sector, right, that has actually had itself run up. I mean, if you look up all the different ones in this sector of this particular market share, a lot of them have ran up with it. And it's probably just the hopes of one party favored more than the other that has an impact on this industry. So I think that that's some of the hope and speculation going on right now. We're going to have to see how they continue to play out. But then, okay, we can also say earnings is coming up. I hope earnings is actually good, because this has had pretty terrible earnings for some time now. I mean, we're talking about super far away from where is expected. And last quarter too was the closest to the earnings that we've seen since quarter 3 of 2019. So, I mean, they're expecting a better earnings here of estimate the closer we get to it, right? As long as it's better than the last one that came out to be an actual of negative 0.65 and the estimate was 0.35. Today's estimate is going to be negative 0.21. And this is coming up on Monday. So we're going to have to pay close attention to how this reacts. I mean, earnings has to get better, because right now, this industry, no matter how much revenue is coming in, I don't think they're making much profit. And that's one of the most important things that this company needs to work on. I mean, their profit margins in the negative for the last 2 years. And it's not that it's a terrible thing, because sometimes you can recover from that. The company's still moving forward. It's providing jobs. It's providing opportunity. But they need to come up with a strategy that their revenue and their net income come into correlation, and then they can profit more and figure out how there's some type of positive profit margin, because we haven't seen profit margin since the beginning of this whole entire income statements that we've seen for the last 4 years. So 2020 might be probably a better profit margin than last year's. It was negative 192. We might be somewhere in between this one and this one, or probably even better than this one, closer to something like this one. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. But if their profit margin starts to get better, even if it's not on the profit side, as long as they get to a better net income and profit margin, and they're working their way back up closer to zero to then be positive over zero, then this company could attract more investors and start to look more like how it used to be when it actually was valued up at the $20 mark and the $16 mark, and actually grow there and work its way up to better numbers and newer highs. And we're gonna have to see, because I mean, the company was valued at so much more. I'm not sure if they've done a split at some point, but the company did have a lot more value. No, they have not. This was IPO, I'm assuming, and it ran up to the hundreds, and then it's just been falling since, and now it's probably doing a bounce back. And the question is, could the bulls hold this bounce back up? This is one of the most important questions right now, and hopefully this isn't just speculation and hope that this actually starts to provide a true business model to attract true large investors, big players in the market, as I always call them, the big fish, and we're the small fish, to come on in and say, okay, I want to initially invest in this because this is going to give me a better return. If we can start seeing something like that, and their balance sheets and income statements and so forth starts looking better, I think this company and most of these companies will start to be heading on the right direction. I mean, they've lasted this long and they can probably hold themselves up, but they need to start becoming profitable before these numbers start to rise to new highs. So we're going to pay close attention to this up towards earnings. So earnings is this Monday. We're going to see what effect it has on it, and I'm going to get close on in here on what's important for Monday, and I want you guys to pay close attention to what's going on here in the whole entire chart. So the highest point reached was 1203. That's one of the most important points for the bulls. They are going to want to break through that to reach new highs and new resistance levels. But before getting there, they need to break through this resistance, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, the 50-day moving average is 841. Super important number for every single investor to keep in mind. 841 lets us know on what side of the chart we're in, if we're in bullish territory or bearish territory. So for the bulls to pull away from the 50-day moving average and continue to work their way up and stay in bullish territory, they need to break through 1089. They need to break through 1089, turn that into a support, and pull away from it to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. They need to do that. They need to go ahead and turn that into a support and pull away from it to reach new highs and new resistance levels. This is the beginning catalyst to pull away from the 50-day moving average, confirm a support to go ahead and continue the momentum and get deeper into bullish territory. That's what the bulls want to focus on and work towards. And that's what's going to keep them from falling into bearish territory. Now, if this stock was to hang out, slightly rise up, kind of come back down, rise up, sideways movement, well, there's a point where the 50-day moving average will catch up to the price and cross it. And now we're in bearish territory by default, and the 50-day moving average will be above it, meaning that gave leverage to the bears, and the bears are going to try to bring this down to newer lows. So keep that in mind. This is why resistance levels are so important right now, especially when we're this close to the 50-day moving average and it's catching up for the bulls. The bulls need to break through 1089. I want to emphasize that. They need to maintain themselves in bullish territory. Now, on the other hand, we have what the bears want. The bears want to break through support, and that's 920. We're currently on 984. That's literally 64 cents away. And if this starts to break through support, you're still in bullish territory, but you have that small window between 920 and 827, right? 841 to go ahead and see how this stock is reacting and how quickly is it moving to newer lows. Are the bulls actually trying to reappear and bring this back up, or are the bears getting closer and closer to the 50-day moving average to then cross it and get back into bearish territory? Super important for every investor. I want to emphasize, pay close attention to the behavior of the stock if it breaks through 920 and how it's reacting between 920 and 841. And are the bears dominating, or are the bulls trying to bring this back up to reach new highs and new resistance levels? As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.